Hey, my name is Sappy, and today I'm going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So the movie only came out today, I'm fresh out the theaters, and I was pretty excited to see it. This video is going to have major spoilers, so I'm going to sanction that on the screen right now so you know when it's coming, but yeah, be warned. And you saw the title, I thought about this all day, but yeah, this movie does not save the MCU, and if you disagree or agree, please let me know, but here I go. We're going to jump right into it before I get into the story summary and all that. So this movie was so much fucking fun. Like this movie was so much fun. It was hilarious. There were things happening every other second. There was always wisecracks or some kind of joke or a homage being made or another cameo popping out of the blue. We're gonna talk about that all in a moment, but I gotta get this one out real quick. Deadpool is not necessarily Marvel Jesus, and he did not save the MCU, and I'll explain why. So when we think of the MCU, in the current state that it is right now, there's still a story going on, you know? There's Kang, even though the actor might not be playing Kang anymore, there's still Kang out there. There's still Spider-Man out there, Doctor Strange, there's other enveloping stories. We have the stories of the Eternals out there. The Guardians are still somewhat out there, and we know that he's gonna return somewhat in the future. And my question is, where the hell does Deadpool and Wolverine fit into all of this? This very much just felt like a Deadpool movie, but they just slapped the MCU logo or the Marvel logo on it, and it didn't really do anything for the MCU. When I think of MCU, I think of that universe I just explained where Iron Man saved everybody, where Thanos did what he did, the Loki season 1 and season 2, the WandaVision, the She-Hulk universe, the Thor Love and Thunder, the entire multiverse saga that we know right now. Earth 616, you know, there's a part in the beginning of the movie where he's on Earth 616, and then he just is not there anymore. I'm gonna explain that more, but yeah. I don't know if I'm just stupid, but the way the trailers were set up, I thought that Deadpool was gonna go to Earth 616, and so was Wolverine, but they don't at all. And that was a little disappointing. And the most disappointing was that there was no post-credit scene like good old MCU does to set up for the next event. We know how it was back then. The movie finished, the lights turn on, but we're all still sitting there waiting for something, waiting for a little sneak peek at what's gonna happen next. Yeah, nothing. It was just like a funny little blooper kind of thing. And yeah, that was the end of it. It was so disappointing, and it still begs the question for me, how does this connect to the MCU, and how does this save the MCU? And I know this movie introduces Deadpool and Wolverine again to the MCU, but I just wanted to know how this connects to the multiverse saga. It just definitely seems like a standalone film, but not part of the MCU. Back in 2008, at the end of Incredible Hulk, Tony Stark shows up, and they've been doing this since way back when. You know, they always set themselves up for something more in the future, and that was something that made MCU just so great. That's what made the end of a movie just so great. At the end of Age of Ultron, you see Thanos putting on the gauntlet, and it's just crazy because it teased a huge thing happening next. Why couldn't we get that for something here, you know? Just a little something, just to show us that he's gonna go to Earth 616, or something big is coming, or something big is happening. Alright, I'm getting into the actual video now. I'm just reminding you guys that I'm not shitting on this movie. It's not bad. It was such a good movie, but I just wish the MCU logo wasn't slapped on it. And I wish they didn't pipe up this little festering dream, even in the movie themselves, of Deadpool joining Earth 616 and it like not happening in any way. It just felt like they threw some things in there from the multiverse saga, like the TVA, and then just wrapped it up in a nice little bow and called it Deadpool and Wolverine. And don't get me wrong, I'm so glad it exists, but saving the MCU? No. But let's get into the actual video. So right off the bat, it's just classic Deadpool. He's breaking the fourth wall. He mentions how Fox was bought by Disney, and it's pretty funny. Makes you chuckle right at the very start. And right now, Deadpool is looking for Logan's dead body, because right now he's in the universe where Logan or the X-Men existed, or the Fox movies. And they do this about 5 times where they mention Fox or Disney. Like, it's funny the first couple of times, but afterwards it gets a little repetitive. I don't know if that was just me, but yeah. So yeah, he finds Logan, but Logan is dead, and shortly after he gets attacked by the TVA, the same people that we saw in Loki season 1 and 2. We get an intro montage, and then we figure out why they're chasing him. So Wade's living his normal life, and the TVA come in and let him know that his timeline is dying ever since Logan died. So to stop that from happening, he goes to a bunch of different universes and tries to find a Logan to replace him. While he was there, the TVA offered him to go to the Marvel universe to live on Earth 616, but ultimately he decided not to so that he can save his friends. So yeah, Deadpool, he goes and finds another Logan, but apparently it's the shittiest Logan of all the Logans to exist. Deadpool tries to propose this new idea, but they get pruned and sent to the same place called the Void that Loki went to in Loki season 1. They have a pretty badass fight, and it's so much fun to watch. Just two people that can't really die. just going at it. It's really great. After that, they come to a little movie agreement to work together for a bit. And honestly, this is what makes up 30% of the movie, but this is where the cameos start rolling in. So we see Chris Evans, you know, the person that plays Captain America. We think it's Captain America or Steve Rogers. He jumps off the pillar that he's standing on. It looks like he has superpowers. And then as the bad guys roll up, he just says flame on and then just lights up and fire. I really love how the directors were aware that they're played by the same actor and really used that to fool the audience. Great. They get captured soon after that, and then they're brought to a camp that is made out of Ant-Man's suit. There, the place is run by a character named Cassandra Nova, and she's the counterpart or the twin to Charles Xavier. Some more funny fourth wall breaking stuff happens, and then Deadpool gets Johnny killed, or the Human Torch. And then they start fighting a little bit. They realize that they cannot beat Cassandra, and then Alioth.
Alioth is in this thing? From Loki season 1, episode 5?
So because of that, they're able to escape. They take a little break, have a little bit of character backstory for Wolverine, and then they're back on the road again, and then they come across Nicepool, who is a nice version of Deadpool. I thought he was pretty pointless to the story, took up a little bit of screen time for other things that could have been happening, but he was still funny while he was there. He sets them up with a car, and then they hit the road, and then while they're on the road, Deadpool and Wolverine get into a fight because Deadpool slips up and mentions how he doesn't know if he can restore Wolverine's world. So they have another fun ass and funny fucking fight. They're just beating each other's ass in the car, and then next thing you know, they're both knocked out, and then somebody starts driving the car. When they wake up, they don't know where they are, and then Deadpool starts walking around, and then Cameo Central starts happening again. We get Elektra, Blade, and Gambit being played as Channing Tatum, and finally X-23, the same girl that Logan saved in the movie Logan. Deadpool is known for his jokes and cracks, but I feel like they spent just a little bit too much time here just talking, making wisecracks at each other, and everybody just being a little bit to themselves, which is great and all, but man, it went on for a little bit too long here. But yeah, they all decide to team up and then pretty much go attack Cassandra and use her to get back to the worlds that they wanted to be in. So yeah, when they get there, they make it inside, and Wolverine was conflicted about going at first, but then X-23 just gave him a little motivational speech and he's there now. So they get to Cassandra and they needed Juggernaut's helmet so that they could suppress her power, so they put it on her and they try to make her open a portal to take them home. She doesn't want to at first, and then Wolverine says something about Charles, and then she comes to her senses and opens a portal with a sling ring that she said that she found off of a sorcerer that came to the void. Alioth attacks before they escape, and I'm pretty sure everybody there got eaten by Alioth, but I'm not too sure, and Wolverine and Deadpool make it out of there back to their universe. When they go back to their universe, Cassandra found out about the Time Ripper that the TVA is trying to use, and wants to use it for herself to destroy the timeline completely. So she follows them there, and it's up to Deadpool and Wolverine to stop her, but she has a gang of Deadpools that came with her, so they defeat them all, but then they all get stopped by Pete, and then they go down and they stop her. They're able to use their bodies to override the thingy-mabob, and then she's done. I forgot to mention they put Wolverine in his classic suit, and this is a first, and it was amazing. It looked great on screen, but I'm going to talk about that more in a sec. It ends with everything just being peachy, and then Wolverine chooses to go live on in the world that Deadpool lives in. Maybe he's going to try again with the X-Men that live on that world now, and Deadpool gets to go back to his life. So something that really killed me is that there's a post-credit scene, but it doesn't do anything for the future of Deadpool and Wolverine, or Marvel at all. It was just another funny little skit from the section with Johnny, and nothing really at all. It kind of was a bummer. So yeah, that's the whole movie, but let's talk about the good things and the bad things. So from the very first trailer, I was pretty hyped. They did a good trailer and I thought it was pretty funny. They made a pegging joke, and they really tripled down on that with all these edgy ass jokes. And they really made it seem, to me at least, like it's gonna be the revival of Marvel. But when I think of Marvel, I think of Iron Man, I think of Captain America, I think of Hulk. Even now with the new MCU, I still think of Guardians of the Galaxy. I do think of Eternals, even though it wasn't that good. I think of Earth 616, you know? I love Deadpool, and Deadpool and Wolverine are great, but they had nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with Earth 616. And I think I was looking forward to that a lot, and I feel like a lot of other people were looking forward to that, according to some Reddit posts I've been seeing. But yeah, that was a real disappointment. It was just a bit of a bummer. They had nothing to do with Earth 616. It honestly just felt like another Deadpool movie, but this time they threw Wolverine in it, but they slapped the MCU logo on it. And that kind of leads into my next topic, How exactly was he Marvel Jesus, and how was this the revival of Marvel? I don't know if I'm too stuck on the past, but all of this isn't exactly coming together like how it did in the past. I remember after the first Iron Man movie, after the first Thor movie, there's something that continues, just letting you know that these worlds are connected and that they're going to lead into a greater story. I'm not getting that with this. I thought I was going to get a whole bunch of that with this second phase of the MCU, this new multiverse saga that we're in. Right now, it just still feels like we're dipping our toes in it, even like after how many years has it been since Endgame came out and how many movies have came out since then. There's literally a part where Deadpool monologues about how they took a fat L and that they're about to bounce back, and how Nicepool liked it ever since Endgame came out. It's pretty funny, but they're breaking the fourth wall a little bit too hard for me. It's just like, when does the story, progress? I feel like this story was a whole lot of fun. Revival of Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, so great. But how did this save the MCU? How is he exactly Marvel Jesus here? He's funny, he's edgy, he makes jokes that Disney on any other day would not allow. But how exactly did he revive Marvel with this one? It was so much fun, but how does this intertwine with the Kang story? Are they continuing the Kang story? Is this a part of the Kang story? Are they going to be a part of Earth 616 in the future? I sure hope so. I don't know if I'm just a little bit too obsessed with this Earth 616 thing, but I don't know. How does this help the phase 2 of the multiverse saga? But don't get me wrong, like I said, this movie is so much fun. There's so many edgy jokes, so many cameos. I mean, Henry Cavill shows up one time as Wolverine. It was super funny. Elektra, Blade, Gambit, seeing Thor for a second, and I wonder if that'll be canon. So yeah, pretty much what I'm trying to say is that this movie was good. Just like I said about Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's had everything that we knew and loved, but it wasn't good, okay? And what I was expecting out of Deadpool was to see the revival of MCU, but I didn't really see that. I just saw a really funny movie with characters that we know and love just being really fucking edgy. How does this really connect into the MCU at all? Where was Loki? Where's anybody, what's happening with this second phase of the multiverse saga? This definitely felt like just a little blip, just a little, hey, this is what's going on with these two characters, just so you guys know. With Captain Marvel, Black Panther, everybody that got introduced later, even the Eternals, they're all going to have something to do with the future story. I'm no movie reviewer or critic, I'm just a very big fan of the MCU and just this entire superhero genre in general. So if I were to give this a rating, I'd give it a good 7 out of 10. It was funny. The special effects, the bombasticness, the characters were there. The cameos were amazing. But sometimes it was a little bit too much with the fourth wall breaking and the edgy jokes. Like, okay, we get it that Disney bought out Fox. We get it that Disney doesn't usually allow these kind of jokes. We get that the MCU has taken a steep decline ever since Endgame. And they kind of just really throw that at your face the entire movie. He keeps on saying that he's Marvel Jesus, but I just don't understand. That fourth wall breaking it just hurts when they don't really do anything about it. All they did was make the movie funny and so much fun to watch. It does not save Marvel, however. But hey, if you disagree and you think it saves Marvel, then I really want to know why you think so. Or if you agree with me, then let me know as well. But thank you so much for watching if you stuck around this long, and I'll see you.